This is the story of how a billionaire deliberately destroyed his own Formula One season to set up the biggest championship assault in modern racing history. Aston Martin finished 7th in the 2025 Constructors' Championship with just 89 points. They recorded 0 wins, 0 podiums, and suffered their worst result since rebranding. And they chose this outcome on purpose. While the competition lapped them on track, they quietly assembled something unprecedented behind closed doors, a £150 million contract for Adrian Newey, an exclusive Honda Works partnership, and a brand new £200 million factory built from scratch. Lawrence Stroll either made the smartest bet in Formula One or the most expensive mistake any team owner has ever committed. Stick around to the end because what Honda has admitted about their preparation might surprise you. The 2025 season told a brutal story for Aston Martin. 89 points put them 7th in the Constructors' Championship, with Fernando Alonso finishing 5th at Hungary as the team's best result all year. No victories came their way, no podiums materialised, and pole position remained out of reach for every single race. The performance marked their worst showing since the Aston Martin name returned to the grid. What separates this from a typical bad season is that the team saw it coming and welcomed it anyway. Before a single wheel turned in 2025, Executive Technical Director Bob Bell admitted publicly that a balance had to be struck between splitting resources for 2025 and 2026. And the most important thing was probably 2026, the decision they had already made the previous year. Aston Martin showed the least improvement of any team compared to 2024, gaining only 2.5 tenths on average, while rivals pulled further ahead. Saudi Arabia delivered the most damning evidence when their car became the only one on the entire grid that failed to beat 2024 lap times. Andy Cowell addressed this directly without making excuses. He explained that if 2026 was not on the horizon, they would definitely have a quicker car, but the team was investing heavily in next year and was not panicking about the current machinery. Their brand new wind tunnel spent its first operational months developing the 2026 car rather than attempting to fix the struggling 2025 machine, and Cowell framed it as using this year's car as a platform to learn about the new wind tunnel, gathering great data rather than picking up points. Gathering data instead of picking up points captures the entire 2025 Aston Martin philosophy in one sentence. Everything Aston Martin is building centres on one man. Adrian Newey has collected 14 Drivers' Championships and 12 Constructors' titles across his career, winning with Williams, McLaren and Red Bull to become the most successful designer in Formula One history. September 10th, 2024 brought the announcement that Aston Martin had secured his signature, and Lawrence Stroll called it the biggest story since the Aston Martin name returned to the sport. The contract numbers are staggering when you break them down. 5 years at £150 million in total works out to £30 million per year, including bonuses, which places Newey's earnings higher than 18 of the 20 drivers on the grid, with only Verstappen and Hamilton taking home more. But here is where the deal becomes unprecedented. Beyond the salary, Newey received a 2.5% equity stake in the team, making him a partner rather than an employee. Newey acknowledged how unusual this arrangement was, explaining that having the chance to be a shareholder and partner was something that had never really been offered to him before in his entire career. His departure from Red Bull stemmed from multiple factors that accumulated through 2024. Helmut Marko pointed to the death of Dietrich Mateschitz as triggering a certain change at the team. The Christian Horner investigation reportedly left Newey privately unimpressed, and internal power struggles created an uncomfortable environment. Newey's own explanation cut to the heart of it. For various reasons, he felt he would not be true to himself if he stayed at Red Bull. March 1st, 2025 marked his official start date at Silverstone, and November 2025 brought the announcement that he would become team principal from 2026, a role he has never held in his entire career. The supporting cast around him carries equally impressive credentials. Andy Cowell arrived after running the Mercedes engine program during their 12-title dominance, and Enrico Cardiel joined from Ferrari as chief technical officer after a legal battle delayed his start until July 2025. May 24, 2023 changed everything about Aston Martin's power unit situation. The team announced a works partnership with Honda starting in 2026, and this arrangement differs completely from a customer deal because Honda supplies power units exclusively to Aston Martin, with no other team running their engines. Andy Cowell explained what this distinction means in practice. He described how a works relationship opens up a plethora of systems where engineers discuss openly to maximize performance, with lap time as the common currency. Honda Racing Corporation demonstrated their commitment by establishing HRC UK in Milton Keynes specifically for this partnership, building infrastructure dedicated solely to working with Aston Martin. When a manufacturer invests in facilities just for your team, that signals genuine long-term commitment. The track record Honda brings from their Red Bull years speaks for itself. 50% of races fell to Honda power since their return in 2019, and multiple world championships followed Max Verstappen to the top step of the podium. The manufacturer knows how to build winning engines. On January 20th, 2026, a joint power unit launch event takes place in Tokyo, with Formula One's CEO Stefano Domenicali attending alongside the key figures from both organizations. The 2026 regulations explain why Aston Martin committed to this gamble. Christian Horner described them as the biggest reset in probably the last 60 years of Formula One, with both powertrain and chassis changing simultaneously. Frederic Vasseur reached the same conclusion from the opposite end of the grid, explaining that teams are starting from scratch with new chassis, new engine, new batteries, new tyres, new fuel, and new sporting regulations, essentially new everything. The MGUH disappears entirely from these cars. That complex heat recovery system defined the turbo hybrid era since 2014 and caused Honda enormous difficulty when they returned with McLaren in 2015. But from 2026, nobody needs one. The MGUK takes on far greater importance, with output jumping from 120 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts, representing a 192% increase in electric motor power. This shift transforms how the cars deliver their performance. Current machines run approximately 80% combustion power and 20% electric, but 2026 cars approach a 50-50 split between the two sources. Active aerodynamics return for the first time in the modern era, allowing cars to switch between corner mode with high downforce and straight mode where wing flaps open to slash drag. Dimensions shrink across the board, with minimum weight dropping from 800 kilograms to 768 kilograms, and 100% sustainable fuel becomes mandatory for every team. Here's why this creates opportunity for teams like Aston Martin. Stable regulations allow frontrunners to optimize their concepts over years, making them nearly impossible to catch. When everything changes at once, those accumulated advantages vanish overnight, and the team that gets the new rules right from day one can lead the entire field. That's the opportunity Aston Martin is betting everything on. The risks deserve examination alongside the potential. Adrian Newey offered a surprisingly honest assessment in November 2025. He admitted the honest answer is that he has absolutely no idea about 2026 prospects because the team is in a period of transformation after growing rapidly, and they now need to settle everybody down to get them working well together. £30 million a year buys his genius, but it cannot buy certainty. Honda's preparation raises additional concerns. HRC President Koji Watanabe admitted in January 2025 that they are struggling and trying their best to show results next year. Everything is new, including the motor, and the lightweight battery is not so easy to develop. Reports suggest Honda's engine design carries a few extra kilograms compared to rival power units. A potential technical crisis looms over multiple teams as well. Ferrari, Audi, and Honda jointly wrote to the FIA alleging that Mercedes and Red Bull discovered a compression ratio loophole worth 3 to 4 tenths per lap. If engine homologation rules prevent fixing it, affected teams might not recover until 2027. The McLaren-Honda partnership from 2015 to 2017 serves as a warning from recent history. 133 points across 3 seasons preceded a collapse amid mutual recrimination, proving that Honda carries both dominant success and catastrophic failure in their recent track record. Competition intensifies the challenge because every major manufacturer targets 2026. Mercedes expects to produce the best initial power unit. Red Bull's Ford partnership represents their first in-house engine, and Ferrari arrives with Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc driving their machinery. Aston Martin is not the only team using 2026 as a reset. That means everyone enters with similar ambitions. £600 million has flowed from Lawrence Stroll since 2020 in pursuit of turning a midfield team into championship contenders. Adrian Newey commands the design office, a £200 million facility houses the operation, and Honda arrives as an exclusive works partner, bringing proven engineering capability. The 2025 season was sacrificed deliberately and admittedly to make all of this possible. Managing Director Jefferson Slack attempted to set expectations in December 2024, explaining that the team can't just say, let's write off 2025 and we will be at the front in 2026, because it doesn't work like that. The observation carries truth. Spending money doesn't guarantee winning, hiring talent doesn't guarantee they'll collaborate effectively, and building facilities doesn't guarantee the car will be fast. But the opposite also holds. Championships don't come without resources, established teams don't fall without world-class people challenging them, and front-running performance demands proper infrastructure. Aston Martin has given themselves everything they need to succeed, and now execution determines the outcome. Christian Horner's observation captures the stakes perfectly. There will be winners and losers from that reset. February 9th, 2026 brings the car launch, with the season beginning weeks later. Aston Martin either arrives as genuine championship contenders or discovers that assembling the pieces doesn't automatically create a winning puzzle. No middle ground remains for this team. They've committed too fully and sacrificed too much for anything less than transformation. 2026 tells us whether Lawrence Stroll is the smartest team owner in modern Formula One, or whether some things simply cannot be bought, even with billions available to spend.